Welcome to the Performing Arts Center at Hopewell Valley Central High School for tonight's production of William Inge's Pulitzer Prize-winning play, Picnic. Please take a moment to silence your mobile devices. The fire exits are located around the theater, and restrooms are available in the lobby. There will be one 15-minute intermission. Now, sit back, relax as we enjoy our journey back to 1950s Kansas with Picnic.
What a difference a day made. 24 little hours. Brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since you said you were mine. Lord, what a difference a day makes.
You just had a big breakfast. Would you like to rest a while before you start to work?
Work's good for my digestion, ma'am.
Oh, stop being embarrassed because you asked for breakfast. That's nothing.
I ain't never done it before.
Oh, what's the difference? You probably never had cherry pie for breakfast before either.
That's right, ma'am. I didn't.
You're gonna be awfully hot working in that jacket.
My shirt's awful dirty, ma'am.
I'll wash it while you're burning the trash.
That's very nice of you, but would anybody object?
Oh, of course not. You're a man. What's the difference?
Hey, crazy, want to knock the house down?
I don't hear you.
If you ever break a window, you'll hear me.
Go back to bed and tell your pretty sister to come out. It's no fun looking at you. I'm talking to you, goon face.
You ornery bastard, you take that back.
Listen to her, she cusses like a man.
I'll kill you, you ornery bastard! Ah, I swear I'll kill you!
Look at Mrs. Tarzan, look at Mrs. Tarzan.
Who's making all this noise?
Oh, hi, Madge.
Hi, Bomber.
I hope I didn't wake you, Madge, or bother you or anything.
Of course not.
Hey, Madge, a bunch of us guys are chipping in on a hot rod, radio and everything. I get it every Friday night.
I'm not one of those girls that jump around in a hot rod every time you boys turn a corner and honk.
Alan Seymour sends her flowers every time they go out.
I can't send you flowers, baby, but I can send you.
Listen to him bragging.
Let me pick you up some night after Seymour brings you home.
That wouldn't be fair to Alan, would it? We go steady.
Don't you know what steady means, stupid?
I seen you riding around in his Cadillac like you was a duchess. But why do good-looking girls have to be so stuck on themselves?
I'm not stuck on myself. You take that back, Bomber Gutzel.
Well, let me pick you up some night.
Bomber!
We'll get some cans of beer.
Why don't you leave her alone?
Come on, Madge. Give a guy a break.
On your way, lover boy.
Who are you?
What's that matter? I'm stronger than you are.
Go peddle your papers. Okay? Okay? Okay. Good riddance.
Hey, kid, you got a smoke?
Sure. You working for Mrs. Potts?
Yeah. Just doing a few odd jobs.
She give you breakfast?
Yeah.
Millie!
Hi.
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 Young man, this is my house and these are my daughters.
They are?
Is there something you want?
I'm just loafing, ma'am.
Well, this is a busy day for us. Better run along.
It's your house, lady? You're the mother?
Has Helen Potts taken in another tramp?
I don't see why he's a tramp just because Mrs. Potts gave him breakfast.
Well, I'm going to speak to her about the way she takes in every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
He wasn't doing any harm.
I bet he'd like to. Have you called Alan this morning?
No, I haven't had time.
He's coming by pretty soon to take us swimming.
Well, tell him they're expecting a big crowd at the park this evening, so he better use his father's influence to reserve us a table. Oh, and tell him to get one down by the river, close to a Dutch oven.
He'll think I'm being bossy.
Alan doesn't mind if a woman's bossy.
Whenever I hear it, I tell myself, someday I'm getting on that train and I'm going to New York.
That train only goes as far as Tulsa.
Well, in Tulsa, I could catch another train.
I always wonder, maybe some wonderful person is getting off here just by accident, and he'll come into the dime store for something and see me behind the counter, and he'll study me very strangely, and then decide I'm just the person they're looking for in Washington to carry on an important job in the espionage department. Or maybe he wants me for some great medical experiment.
Those things don't happen in dime stores. Madge. Millie, will you take the milk in, please?
Oh.
Did you and Alan have a good time on your date last night?
Uh-huh.
Well, what'd you do?
Went over to his house and played some of his classical records.
Well, then, what'd you do?
Drove over to Cherryvale and had some barbecue.
Madge, does Alan ever make love?
When we drive over to Cherryvale, we always park the car by the river and get real romantic.
Do you let him kiss you? After all, you've been going together all summer.
Of course I let him.
Does he ever want to go beyond kissing?
Mom!
I'm your mother, for heaven's sakes. These things have to be talked about. Well, does he?
Well, yes.
Does Alan get mad if you won't?
No.
He doesn't.
He doesn't get mad.
Well, do you like it when he kisses you?
Yes.
You don't sound very enthusiastic.
What do you expect me to do? Pass out every time Alan puts his arm around me?
No, you don't have to pass out, but it seems to me you could at least...
What?
Hold this dress up in front of you. Madge, it'd be awfully nice to be married to Alan. You'd have charge accounts in all the stores, automobiles and trips. You'd be invited by all his friends to parties in their homes and at the country club.
Mom, I don't feel right with those people.
What do you mean? You're just as good as they are. My father was in the state legislature, my mother's family...
I know, Mom, but Alan's friends are always talking about colleges and trips to Europe. I feel left out.
Well, you'll get over those feelings in time. Alan will be going back to school in a few weeks. There won't be many more opportunities like the picnic tonight. You better get busy.
Busy what?
Madge, a pretty girl doesn't have long. A few years when she's the equal of kings, can walk out of a shanty like this and live in a palace with a doting husband who will spend his life making her happy.
I suppose...
Because once she was young and pretty If she loses her chance then, she might just as well throw all her prettiness away.
I'm only 18.
Next summer you'll be 19, and then 20, and then 21, and then 40.
Everybody around here gets to dress up and go places, except for me.
Alan said he tried to find you a date for the picnic tonight.
I don't want Alan asking any of these crazy boys around town to take me anywhere.
Beggars can't be choosers.
You shut up.
Madge, that was mean. I'll be dancing at the pavilion tonight. Millie should have a date, too.
If she wants a date, why doesn't she dress up and act decent?
Because I'm going to dress and act the way I want to. And if you don't like it, you know what you can do.
Always complaining because she doesn't have any friends, but she smells so bad people don't want to be near her.
Madge!
La-di-da. Madge is the pretty one, but she's so dumb, they almost had to burn down the schoolhouse to get her out of it.
That's not so.
Oh, isn't it? You never would have graduated if it weren't for Jumpin' Jeter.
Who's Jumpin' Jeter?
Teaches history. Kids call him Jumpin' Jeter because the pretty girls in his classes make him all jumpy. He was flunking Madge until she went into his classroom and cried. I just don't know what I'll do if I don't pass history.
Mom, she's making that up.
Like fun I am. You couldn't even pass Miss Sydney's course in shorthand, and you have to work in the dime store.
Millie!
You are a goon. Madge, you slut! Madge, shut that girl!
Kill you, Madge!
Stop it! I swear
For the neighbor's sake!
Madge! No one's gonna call me a goon and get by with it.
You called her worse names!
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt what names I call her. She's pretty. Names don't bother her at all.
Poor Millie.
That's all I hear. Poor Millie. And poor Millie's won herself a scholarship for 4 whole years of college.
A girl like Millie can need confidence in other ways.
Mom?
Yes?
Do you love Millie more than me?
Of course not.
Then why do you act as if you did?
Madge, listen to me. You were the firstborn. Your father thought the sun rose and set in you. He used to carry you on his shoulders for the whole neighborhood to see. But when Millie was born, things were different.
How?
They were just different. Your father wasn't home much of the time then. He found other things. The night Millie was born, he was with a bunch of his wild friends at the roadhouse.
Was he sorry?
He was always sorry. And I always forgave him. Our life was a succession of fights and endearments.
Anyway, you loved him.
What if I did? It takes a lot more than love to keep people happy.
Mom,
Yes?
what good is it to be pretty?
Well, pretty things are rare in this life.
But what good are they?
Well, pretty things like flowers and sunsets and rubies and pretty girls, too. They're like billboards telling us that life is good.
But where do I come in?
What do you mean?
Maybe I get tired of being looked at.
Madge, don't talk so selfish.
I don't care if I am selfish. It's no good just to be pretty. It's no good.
Ma'am, mind if I start a fire?
What?
The nice lady over there said it's a hot enough day and maybe you object, so how about it? You mind a little fire?
No, I don't mind.
I didn't think you would.
He just moves right in. Whether you want him to or not, he's got no shame.
I knew you wouldn't like him when I first saw him.
Do you?
I don't like him or dislike him. I just wonder what he's like.
I know what he's like.
Anyone mind if an old maid school teacher joins their company?
Good morning, Rosemary.
Mail come yet?
No mail today. It's Labor Day.
I forgot. I thought I might be getting a letter from that man I met at the high school picnic last spring. But wanted married me ever since. Nice fellow and a peck of fun, but I don't have time for any of them when they start getting serious on me.
You school teachers are mighty independent.
Shoot, I lived this long without a man. I don't see what's to keep me from getting on without one.
What about Howard?
Howard's just a friend boy, not a boyfriend. I smell smoke.
Helen Potts is having her leaves burned. Smells kind of good, don't you think?
Who's the young man?
Just another no-good Helen Potts took in.
Mrs. Owens, he's working over there naked as an Indian, and I don't think that's right in the presence of
Millie,
ladies.
come back here.
Gee whiz! I go swimming every day, and the boys don't have on half as much as he does now.
Well, swimming's different.
Madge,
What?
can I borrow your manicure set just for kicks?
If you promise not to get it messy.
Look at him, showing off.
Who does he think is interested?
What's that you're rubbing in?
Boncella 3-way tissue cream makes a good base for your makeup.
There was an article in the Reader's Digest about a woman who got skin poisoning from using all those face creams.
The Harriet Bristol. She's the American history teacher. She got a hold of some of that beauty clay last winter, and it darn near took her skin off. All we girls thought she had leprosy.
Madge, how do you do your right hand?
If you were nice to people, maybe people would do something nice for you.
You got a bow, Millie.
No.
You can't kid me. Girls don't paint their fingernails without a reason.
Madge, will you try this dress on now, dear?
Flo!
Are you going to be using the clothesline this morning?
No.
Hi.
How do you do?
Ellen? Ellen? I'm hanging out the clothes, Mama. I'll be right back.
Poor Helen. She told me once she sometimes has to get up 3 times a night just to take her mother to the bathroom.
Why doesn't she put her in an old ladies' home?
Well, none of them will take her. She's too mean.
She must be mean if that story you told me is true.
Oh, it is true. Helen and Potts' boy ran off and got married, and Helen's mother caught them that very day and had the marriage annulled.
She's Mrs. Potts in name only.
Sometimes I think she keeps the boy's name just to defy the old lady.
I know, boy. I'm going to get my suit.
We'll see if Madge is decent. Good morning, Alan.
Morning, Miss Owens. Miss Sydney.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Alan.
Hello.
Have you girls seen the handsome young man I've got working for me?
Handsome.
Helen Potts, I wish you'd stop taking in all sorts of riffraff.
He isn't riffraff. He's been to several colleges.
Colleges, and he begs for breakfast.
He's working for his breakfast. Alan, he said he knew you at the university. I told him you might be by.
Who?
Hey, Alan, we going swimming?
You bet.
Alan, why don't you go on up and see Madge? Just call from the bottom of the stairs.
Sure.
Up.
Hey, Delilah.
Do you think Alan's going to marry Madge?
Well, I hadn't thought much about it.
It's so hot and still this time of year. When it gets this way, I'd welcome a good cyclone, even if it blew everything away.
Not me.
Look at him lift that wash tub as if it was so much tissue paper. Ellen? Ellen? I'm visiting Flo, Mama. You don't need me.
What'd you feed him?
Biscuits?
Helen Potts, you went to all that trouble.
He was so hungry. I gave him ham and eggs and all the hot coffee he could drink. Well, and then he saw a piece of cherry pie in the icebox and wanted that too.
Sounds to me like Mrs. Potts has herself a new boyfriend.
I don't think that's very funny.
Shoot, Mrs. Potts, I'm just a tease.
I could sit on my own porch, but I hate for the neighbors to see me there all alone. I'd like to sit over here where there's young people coming and going.
Mrs. Potts, if I said anything
Oh,
to
look!
offend you...
Bride and groom! How does it feel, Madge? I mean, the dress.
I love it, Mom. Except it's a little tight right back here.
Oh, isn't Madge the pretty one?
What you reading, Millie?
Oh, The Ballad of the Sad Cafe. It's wonderful.
Good Lord, Mrs. Owens. You let your daughter read filthy books like that?
Filthy?
Everyone in it is some sort of degenerate.
That's not so.
It was banned from the library.
I don't read much.
Millie, give me that book.
No!
Mrs. Owens, that book's on the reading list at college.
What's a person to believe?
But those college professors don't have any morals.
Where Millie comes by her tastes, I'll never know.
Some of the pictures she has over her bed scare me.
Those pictures are by Picasso, and he's a great artist.
A woman with 7 eyes, very pretty.
Pictures don't have to be pretty.
Here, Helen, you must have had a gun. Don't go over there, Ellen. Your mother's old. She's to go soon anyway.
What happened out here, young man?
I don't know. I lit this stuff and the whole thing went up.
Say, that looks like... Oh, no, it couldn't be.
Isn't that a shame? She'll have to do her whole wash over again.
Well, was that bottle in it?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was a bad girl.
What is it, Helen?
I threw a new bottle of cleaning fluid into the trash this morning.
Helen Potts, you're the limit. Come on, Madge, let's finish that dress.
Good Lord, I've got to be getting dressed.
Millie, come help me. The young boy ran into the clothesline trying to get away.
Alan, Madge will be right down. Just wait down here.
Sure.
You go ahead, young man. We'll take care of this.
Gee, ma'am, I'm awfully sorry. I didn't mean
That's
to...
all right. Millie will help me.
It is!
Oh, kid! The lady said you'd be around.
Hal Carter.
I was coming to see you.
How's the old outboard motor?
Oh, you want to ride?
All gassed up? Ahoy, brothers is winking, blinking, and stinking.
I used to wake up the whole damn fraternity.
Last time I saw you, you're on your way to Hollywood to become a big movie hero.
Oh, that.
What do you mean, oh, that? Isn't that what I loaned you $100 for?
Sure, Seymour.
Well, what happened?
Things just didn't work out, that's all.
Tried to warn you, Hal. Every year, some talent scout offered screen tests to all the big athletes.
Oh, I got the screen test, all right. Now, I was about to have a big career. They were going to call me Brush Carter. How do you like that?
Yeah?
Yeah, they took a lot of pictures with me and my shirt off, you know, real rugged. And they dressed me up like the Foreign Legion.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they gave me a pair of tights, you know, those pants that fit you down here like a glove. And they put me in a hat with a plume and had me poking things with swords. Ha, 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 touche, mug. It was real crazy.
Did they give you any lines to read?
Well, yeah, that part went okay. It was my teeth.
Your teeth.
Yeah, out there you gotta have a certain kind of teeth or they can't use you. You know, this babe said they'd have to pull out all my teeth and give me new ones. So naturally...
Wait a minute. What babe?
The babe that gave me the screen test. I mean, she wasn't exactly a babe, a little beat up, but she wasn't bad.
Uh-huh. What are you doing here?
I came to see you.
Yeah? Why?
After Hollywood, I took a job up on a ranch in Nevada. Seymour, you would have been proud of me. In bed every night at 10, up at 6, no babes, no liquor. I saved up $200.
Oh, you came to pay me back.
Oh, I was gonna, Seymour, but I got rolled.
Rolled? You?
Yeah, and by these two babes. See, I was gonna hitchhike down to Texas and try my luck, but I got as far as Phoenix when these two babes pull up in this big yellow convertible, and one of them hollers, "Get in, studs!" So I got in. Seymour, it was crazy. They had a shaker full of martinis right there in the car.
Oh, you boys talking over old times. Millie helped me ice the cake.
Oh, do you need any more work, ma'am?
No, I feel more than paid for breakfast.
I suppose there's a place I could wash up?
Oh, we got a shower in the basement. Come on, I'll show you.
He'll be there in a minute. Okay, so they had a shaker full of martinis right there in the car.
And one of these babes was smoking the weed.
Gee, nothing like that ever happens to me. Well, go on with the story.
Seymour, you wouldn't believe it. The things those two babes started doing to me.
Were they good looking?
Well, what do you care?
It makes the story more interesting. Tell me what you did exactly.
Okay, well, you know me, Seymour. I'm an agreeable guy.
Sure.
So, when they took me to this tourist cabin, I said, "Okay, girls, I gotta pay for the ride." Well, but gee, they must have thought I was King Kong.
You mean both of them?
Sure. Then I said, "Okay, girls, party's over. Let's get going." But this babe on the weed, she sticks a gun in my back, and she says, "This party's going on till we say it's over, Buck." You would have thought she was Humphrey Bogart.
Well, what happened?
Finally, I passed out. I woke up, the James was gone, and so was my $200. Now, I went to the police, and they wouldn't believe me. They said the whole thing was wishful thinking. How do you like that? And that got me thinking, you know, what's a poor bastard like me ever gonna do?
You don't sound like you've had such a bad life.
I got thinking of you, Seymour. At school, you always had things under control.
Me?
Well, yeah, you never cut classes, understood lectures, took notes. So funny.
The one authentic hero the university had, and he envied me.
Oh, yeah, big hero between the goalposts. Seymour, you're the only guy in that whole fraternity ever treated me like a human being.
I know.
Those other phonies always watching to see if I used a singular rather than a plural.
Oh, you just imagined that.
Yeah, in a pig's eye I did.
Why do you think you're any worse than everybody else?
Maybe I'll tell you someday.
Your father drinks. So what? Happens in the best of families.
He died in jail, Seymour. The last time they scraped him off the sidewalk.
Gee, Hal, I'm awfully sorry to hear that.
You know, the old lady couldn't even come up with the dough for the funeral. They had to bury him in Pauper's Row.
What about the filling station?
I left it to me in his will, but the old lady wanted it so bad, she was going to have him declared insane. So I let her have it. You know, who needs it?
Yeah. What time did you get into town?
This morning on a freight.
Why didn't you come see me right away?
I didn't want to walk into your palatial mansion looking like a bum. I wanted to get some change and buy a new shirt. I was wondering if maybe you and your old man might fix me up with a job.
What kind of a job, Hal?
What kind of jobs you got?
What'd you have in mind?
I don't know, something in a nice office where I could wear a tie and have a sweet little secretary and talk on the phone about enterprises and things. You know, I always had the feeling that if I just had the chance, I could set the whole world on fire.
Maybe you could, Hal. But for the time being, you've got to be content to work hard and be patient.
Yeah, that's something I gotta learn. Patience.
Mrs. Potts, Sinclair's hiring new men, aren't they?
Oh, yes, Alan. Carrie wants 100 men for the pipeline.
How about the pipeline, Hal?
Oh, great! Oh, great! Now, where's that shower?
Oh, isn't he a nice young man?
It's this private party I'm crashing.
My, you're dressed up.
It's my new fall outfit. Got it in Kansas City. Paid $22.50 for the hat.
You school teachers do have nice things.
And we don't have to ask anybody when we want to get them either.
Be here for lunch today, Rosemary?
No, there's a welcome home party out at the hotel luncheon bridge for the new girls on the faculty.
Mom, can I go swimming? Who'll fix lunch? I've got a million things to do.
Wouldn't kill Millie if she ever did any cooking.
No, but it might kill the rest of us.
Rosemary, let's get going, girl. Don't want to be late. You'll love Rosemary, Sydney. She's a peck of fun.
What are you saying about me, Irma Cronkite?
Rosemary, Sydney.
Irma Cronkite, how was your vacation?
Oh, I worked like a dog.
Oh.
But I had fun, too. I don't care if I never get that master's. I'm not going to be a servant all my life.
She's been telling me about all the wicked times she's had in New York, and not just at the Teachers College, if I may add.
Kid, this is Christine Schoenwalder taking Mabel Fremont's place in feminine hygiene.
How do you do, Christine?
Been a hot summer, Mrs. Owens.
Terrible.
Delighted to know you, Christine. Welcome back, Irma.
And this is Mrs. Owens, Christine Schoenwalder.
Are you working now, Madge?
Yes. Yes, Madge took a job downtown this summer just to keep busy.
Hal!
When did he?
Hal! Millie! Mrs. Owens, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Hal Carter. Hal's a fraternity brother.
See?
Fraternity brother. Really? Any friend of Alan's is a friend of ours.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am.
Hal, don't you have a shirt?
I washed it, and it isn't dry yet.
Yeah, it was all sweaty.
Girls, we better get a hustle on.
Oh, tell them about what happened in New York, kid.
Oh, I went to the Stork Club.
How did you get to the Stork Club?
See, there was this fellow in my educational statistics class.
I knew there was a man in it.
Now, girl, it was nothing serious. He was just a good sport, that's all. We made a bet the one who made the lowest score on the final had to take the other to the Stork Club. And I lost. Come on.
I should think they'd smother in all those clothes.
Say, Hal, you want to go swimming?
Why not?
Flo, why don't we ask the young man on the picnic? He'd be a date for Millie.
Oh, that's right, but Helen,
Oh, young man. Flo and I are having a picnic tonight at the park for all the young people. You come too and be a date for Millie.
A picnic?
Uh-huh.
Well, gee, ma'am, I don't think it's right me barging in this way.
Oh, nonsense. A picnic's no fun without lots and lots of young people.
Hal, I want you to meet Madge.
Oh, we met already? That is, we saw each other?
Yeah, we saw each other.
Hal notices every beautiful girl.
Alan.
What? You're the most beautiful girl in town, aren't you? The Chamber of Commerce voted her Queen of Neowalla last year.
What?
Neowalla. It's Halloween spelled backwards.
Every year they have a big coronation ceremony in Memorial Hall.
Madge had to sit through the whole ceremony till they put a crown on her head.
I got awfully tired.
I'll bet.
The Kansas City Star ran color photographs in their Sunday magazine.
Everyone expected me to get real conceited, but I didn't.
You didn't?
Hard to get conceited about those pictures.
The color got blurred and they printed my mouth right in the middle of my forehead.
Oh, gee, that's too bad.
Come on, now let's go swimming. I'll race you to the car.
Wait, isn't your sister going with us?
No. Madge has to cook lunch.
I mean, she cooks too?
Sure, Madge cooks and cleans and sews and all those things that women do. Now, come on.
Okay. On your mark.
I'm on my mark.
Get set.
I'm set.
Go!
Oh, that's no fair.
Go!
Alan,
Yes?
how did a boy like him get in college?
On a football scholarship.
Oh,
He made a spectacular record in a little high school down in Arkansas.
but a fraternity, don't those boys have more breeding?
Perhaps. But fraternities like to pledge big athletes for the publicity. Hal could have been All-American
All American?
if he'd only studied.
How did the other boys feel about him? Was he popular?
They didn't like him much, Mrs. Owens. When Hal came around, every man on that campus seemed to bristle. When I first met him, I couldn't stand the way he bragged and swaggered and posed all over the place. But I came to find out he's actually done most of the things he says he's done. He's a fabulous character.
Do you like him now, Alan?
Oh, sure. Hal's a really nice guy, believe it or not. We used to room together until he flunked out. He told me some of the things he was up against as a kid. It's pretty typical.
Well, is he wild?
Not really. Mrs. Owens, if you'd like to withdraw your invitation,
No,
I'm sure...
No, Alan, not if you... Does he drink?
A little? Mrs. Owens, Hal pays attention to me. I'll see he behaves.
I wouldn't want anything to happen to Millie.
Mom, Millie can take care of herself.
Maybe you're right. Come on, Helen. Oh, dear. Why can't things be simple?
I'm sorry I have to go back to school this fall, Madge. It was Dad's idea.
I'm sure of that.
What? Wasn't he nice the other night while I was out fixing the drinks?
Oh, yes, he's always very nice to me. Very polite. He explained how sorry he was you had to go away.
Are you sorry?
Of course. There'll be lots of pretty girls at college.
Honestly, Madge, my entire 4 years, I never met a girl I liked.
I don't believe that.
That's true. They're all so affected. If you wanted to go on a date with them, you have to call them a month in advance.
Really?
Madge, it's kind of hard for me to say this, but I honestly never believed a girl like you could care for me.
Alan.
I hope you do care for me, Madge.
Hey, Seymour.
What's the matter, Hal? Can't you stand to see anyone else kiss a pretty girl?
What the hell, Seymour?
Hal, what's your language?
Alan, it's all right.
I'm sorry.
What's the trouble?
Seymour, I've never been on a picnic.
Not even when you were a kid?
No.
That's impossible. Everyone's been on a picnic.
Not me. I was too busy shooting craps or stealing milk bottles.
You went on the steak fries in the fraternity, didn't you?
Yeah, and you know how those turned out to be.
Mrs. Potts' picnic would be a little less primitive.
Well, that's what I mean. I wouldn't know how to act around all these women.
Oh, sure you would.
But Seymour, these are nice women. I mean, what if I say the wrong thing or my stomach growls or...
You're crazy. Run along. I'll be there in a minute.
Hurry it up, will you?
I'll see you tonight, Madge.
All right, Alan.
Madge, maybe After dinner, we could get away from the others and take a boat out on the river.
All right, Alan.
I want to see if you look real in the moonlight.
Alan, don't say that.
Why? I don't care if you're real or not. You're the prettiest thing I ever saw.
Just the same, I'm real.
Hey, Seymour, get the lead out of your pants.
Madge, come on in, dear.
All right, Mom.